Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the next episode of Wednesday. This is Season 1, Episode 5, titled You Reap What You Woe. It's been a minute. I know I said it a lot. Let's just hop into this. I do remember last time, though, what happened with Eugene died, right? Like, there was the dance, and Eugene was supposed to go with Wednesday was supposed to go with Eugene to stake out the caves. But Eugene went on his own because Wednesday was asked to the dance because she needed to do some surveillance on, was it Tyler or whatever? And then we learned a little bit more about Bianca. We learned that she wasn't as much as of a bitch as we originally thought. There's some layers to her. So we'll see what happens going forward. I don't know what this one's really about. You reap what you woe. Let's just hop in, have a good time, discuss it afterwards. But before I do want to remind you guys, Patreon, full-length, uncut, unedited reactions, as well as early access to everything else you see here on the channel, as well as exclusive reactions. So if any of that interests you, hop on over to Patreon. Of course, if you can't support me over there, you can always support me right here on YouTube. All you gotta do is like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Now let's stop talking, hop in, have a good time, discuss afterwards. All right, guys, here we go. Or here we whoa.
How well do we really know our parents? Take my father, but when he was a student, he was accused of a murder that took place right
flashback
there.
episode?
Which leads me to wonder.
Goth and glamour?
What really happened that stormy night, 32 years ago?
Oh my goodness. No, okay. Obviously, it's a misunderstanding of some sort.
I don't like to tell tales, Sheriff Walker, but it's all Morticia Frump's fault. They were fighting over her.
Oh.
I don't know what to say, Gomez. Seeing you in handcuffs, accused of murder. I've never loved you more.
All right, that's enough, Adams. Let's go.
Young Gomi and young Tish actually look really good. So something obviously happened where he got off. Like he was exonerated or something. And that's why the sheriff obviously doesn't believe it. Which is why he has a thing for the Addams family, right?
I hope Wednesday's happy to see us. I left a dozen messages on her crystal ball, still no reply.
Left on red.
I'm sure she's dying to see us.
Nevermore was created as a safe haven for our children. I realize most of you have heard about the unfortunate incident involving one of our students. But I'm happy to report that Eugene is on the mend and is expected to make a full
Oh, he's not dead?
On the mend? Have you been to see him? The monster hasn't attacked anyone in the past week. Maybe you finally scared it off.
Or maybe it went into hiding to avoid this weekend.
I knew I should have worn my plague mask. Did you look at my family? Talk about toxic pack mentality. Let's get this over with.
Aw, they're friends.
How are you, my little rain cloud?
I thought Thing was filling you in on my every move. I uncovered your feeble subterfuge almost immediately. Since you've abandoned me here, I've been hunted, haunted,
I love it here.
and the target of an attempted murder.
Ah, Nevermore, I love you so.
1,000 to 1,000.
Have you not been waxing?
3 seconds. That's a personal best.
Are you feeling well? Have you been eating enough red meat?
It's good to see you too, Mom. And you, Dad.
I'm sorry for what happened at the dance. I shouldn't have asked you to siren song me like that.
Guessing your dad's no-show again this year.
Yeah. You?
Gabrielle hasn't shown her face since I started here.
Gabrielle? Stepmom?
My darling daughter,
Oh.
I made it.
I guess you misjudged her.
Yo. What's going on here?
Do you remember when we did that duet for the Solstice Talent Show? Your Judy Garland impression was a dead ringer.
Judy Garland. Is that Wizard of Oz girl? Dorothy?
May I borrow this for the weekend? That way Gomez and I can take a little walk down memory lane.
Okay.
All right. Unfortunately, Wednesday's assimilation has been rocky at best.
Because I refuse to embrace the culture of dishonesty and denial permeating the school, starting with the monster that killed Rowan and put Eugene in the ICU. Although I do hear he's on the mend.
Sometimes a sharp tongue can cut deep. We make sure they search that cave for any sign of that creature.
Oh, here we go.
No stone unturned.
It's
That
Gomez
gotta go there.
Adams.
Okay? And then follow up at the lab. I want the DNA results on that claw. Son of a bitch.
What's up, Dad?
Just hard to stomach a murderer wandering around town scot-free.
At least they care enough about Wednesday to go to therapy with her.
You got a lot on my plate right now, bud.
Perfectly healthy relationship.
So, who wants to start?
It's been hard not having Wednesday around. I never thought I'd miss being waterboarded so much.
Morticia? Gomez? How have you been coping?
It's been torture for us, too.
Fortunately, my brother Festa's rag fits two people.
Nothing like a good stretch to bring out the best in each other.
Querida mía.
Okay.
Enough! I think it's high time my parents face the music.
Yes, thank God. Here we go.
It seems they've been lying to me.
Ooh.
Who was Garrett Gates and why are you accused of murdering him?
Whoa.
Yo.
Wednesday, stop. This is neither the time nor the place.
Actually, this is exactly the place.
This does not concern you.
Well.
I refuse to debate a decades-old witch hunt with you right now.
Darling, maybe we should...
No. This session is over.
Have it your way, Mother.
Wednesday?
If you refuse to tell me the truth, I'll just have to excavate it myself.
Ooh.
How did you find me?
Morning Song community misses you. I miss you.
And by community, you mean cult.
We are a personal development movement.
After you take control of their bank accounts.
Gideon said you'd resist.
Don't say that man's name to me. You think he'd give a damn about some single mom and her daughter if we weren't sirens?
That is no way to talk about your stepfather.
Great.
Hard pass.
Ouch.
Goodbye now. And I don't want to see any
How
more
old
morning
is
song research
Bianca?
anywhere near this town.
If she's 18, she can be emancipated, right?
My siren song is drawing.
Or what age can you be emancipated from? I think, is it 16 or is it 18? No, but 18 you're an adult. 16? I don't know.
You're just
I mean-
scamming a higher class of people, but they're not your friends. Sooner or later, they will see through you. A siren can never change her scales. You got until the end of the weekend to say your goodbyes.
Thanks for keeping an eye on him. Any updates? He didn't deserve this. I should be in that bed.
No.
Why did you go without me?
You must be Wednesday. Eugene's moms, Sue and Janet.
Oh.
You were all he could talk about lately. You were so excited to finally make a real friend.
He's gonna be okay, right?
I should go.
But that touch of humanity touched her. Look at her. Hey, I like this little arc for Wednesday. She's not cold and like she thinks she is. Cold and heartless.
We got security footage?
There's a camera right behind you,
Camera was
buddy.
obscured. Black bubblegum. Got them scrubbing through video to find out how long it's been there.
You don't say.
What does that mean?
Says he felt guilty about an old case. Says he covered it up, faked the coroner's report, and has been living with that guilt for all these years.
About the Gomez case? No way, right?
Garrett Gates?
Garrett Gates, you gotta be kidding me.
You heard of it?
Ah.
I always thought they were covering up the truth. Now I got my proof.
But what is the truth? No way they don't know that they're watching each other, right? Or they're being watched. I mean, they did say, oh my goodness. I mean, they did say they were fighting over Morticia. Is he eating tacos? That looks hella good.
We need to tell her.
We must stay strong. hope that something more morbid comes along to distract her.
Interesting. Have you wolfed out yet, girl?
Have you wolfed out yet?
No.
Well, that is a disappointment.
That's me. Huge disappointment.
Are there families really like this? Like, I know that's like extra for TV and stuff, but damn.
Gomez Adams. You're under arrest for the murder of Garrett Gates. Do the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Well, I'm intrigued. Oh, and she's crying. Oh, interesting, interesting. Something that Wednesday would not believe, or she would have a hard time believing. Okay, well, start talking, buddy.
My little Tormenta, how's your mother?
She hates you in Orange. I caught her laying a rose in a grave earlier today.
Garrett Gates.
The headstone read Garrett Gates.
Why?
Care to explain?
Garrett was infatuated with your mother. He mistook her kindness for interest, and he started stalking her.
Why didn't you call the police?
We tried, but his family was the oldest and richest in Jericho. It all came to a head the night of the Raven Dance.
There we go.
Your mother and I stepped out to catch our breath.
Oh, shit.
When I saw him, he had broken into the school.
Oh.
Driven by jealousy and hate, Garrett was unstoppable. When I saw the sword, my survival instinct kicked in.
Oh. Oh.
It was a terrible accident.
I mean, he did kind of just walk into it.
His confession sounds entirely plausible.
But
delivered with the perfect degree of sincerity. Thank you for being so honest with me. But then there's the matter of his tells. I know them well. You are the reason I understand how imperative it is that I never lose sight of myself.
This guy and his
We need
hate
to
boner
talk.
for the Adams. Here we go.
My father did not kill Garrett Gates.
We'll have his signed confession, and he identified the saber he used to do it, both of which I'm about to deliver to the district attorney.
Saber.
Don't you find the timing a tad bit convenient?
It's all perfectly laid out, buddy.
How are you failing to see that someone is desperately trying to derail my investigation? I found the monster's cave, and I gave you the DNA evidence. Did you even bother to test it?
This may come as a shock, but the world doesn't revolve around you, Adams.
Imagine if that's this guy.
DNA results.
Fuck.
No match. Inconclusive.
So you truly believe this is all some coincidence?
Unfortunately, someone sabotaged the security camera in the morgue, so we don't know what happened.
Someone is trying to throw me off my game. This is all a distraction.
Nah, there's more to it. There has to be. What the hell? Oh, I wish you could wolf out just like my
Here,
boys.
I brought you a gift.
Watch something shitty, like what to do if you can't wolf out.
All I
5,
want is the very
4,
best for you.
3, 2, 1. The happy wolf?
What are these?
Brochures?
No.
Summer camp.
These aren't just ordinary summer camps. These are camps for lycanthropy conversion?
No need to be dramatic, Enid.
You want to send me to conversion therapy for werewolves?
Don't you want to wolf out and finally be normal, honey?
So, Enid wants to learn naturally, and her parents want her to just come on. Wolf out already. I see, I see. What the hell are you doing?
Hello, Mother.
Hello, Wednesday. So you're a nightshade. That didn't take long.
Why would you send me somewhere where I could only ever exist in your shadow?
Figuring it out.
But mostly I rejected them because they're a trivial social club.
It used to be so much more. Our mission was to protect outcasts from harm and bigotry. I know why you've come here, Wednesday. So go on, ask.
Father didn't kill Garrett Gates, did he?
Did you? Oh boy.
By the time I made it up the stairs, I found your father fighting for his life. It was terrifying. I'll never forget the way he looked at me. He was even foaming at the mouth. It was like I was staring into the eyes of a rabid beast.
And Gomez took the fall. Now that felt more like murder. Because she was not involved in the fight. It was not self-defense.
It was only when I heard the scream that I realized what I'd done.
Yeah, but you didn't have to show yourself.
Father was so...
They didn't see.
brave.
She didn't say... Why? You guys could have just ran away. Why would...
You need to leave right now. Go
What?
to the room and lock the door. You were never here. You understand me?
Do I like this? I don't know.
Put this back on the table.
I was with it until... I don't know.
Your father took the blame in order to protect.
Yeah, he incriminated himself. He stepped over the ledge, bloody as fuck, holding the weapon. Fuck. Why would he do that?
Someday this would come back to haunt us.
I mean, no one saw who stabbed him. It could have just been
You said
another
Garrett was
mystery.
foaming at the mouth. His eyes didn't look human.
I've never seen someone so blinded by rage.
Well, maybe it wasn't rage at all. What are those
Rabies?
textbook symptoms of?
But how can that be?
There's only one way to find out.
We're really doing this.
Moment of truth.
So, that's disgusting. You like the smell of a fresh cadaver? So, what am I supposed to be catching on to? What?
Well, well. What do we have here?
Shit. Well,
Comfortable. You can post bail in the morning.
they're back to kissing.
Neither one of you are strong enough to serve hard time. And thanks to me, you won't have to. I borrowed it from Garrett. He died from nightshade poisoning.
Oh.
You look even more ravishing as an innocent one.
For once, could you two get off of each other and focus?
Prove to me you're still worthy to be called my son! Kill all those outcasts!
But wait a minute.
What did you see?
The night Garrett died, he had a vial of nightshade poison that broke in his pocket. He wasn't just trying to kill Father.
I'm trying to kill everybody.
He was going to use the nightshade poison to murder the entire school.
Now, how do you prove that to the sheriff? Oh, you just happen to have a vision.
Garrett Gates wasn't killed by a stab wound.
That blue sheen is a telltale sign of nightshade poisoning.
But you already knew that, didn't you? You were in charge of the case and covered it up.
Ansel Gates hated outcasts and Nevermore. Garrett went there that night to spike the punch and kill all the kids at that dance.
You knew the truth about how he really died.
Listen, my job was to keep the peace.
I think the only reputation you were worried about ruining was your own.
Yeah.
I resent your implication.
What I
Because
resent
it's true.
is that you could have prevented Garrett's death if you had done your job when I lodged my complaint about him stalking me. Men like you have no idea what it feels like not to be believed.
Ouch. That was a good line.
What do you want?
Gomez free. Drop charges.
All charges dropped.
My father will be released immediately with a full and unequivocal apology from the sheriff's office.
I don't know if you're getting that, but...
Do we have a deal?
At the very least, charges dropped. Dad's free. I don't know if the sheriff's apologizing. Maybe a generic, typed out, automated apology.
You were very impressive in there.
Yeah, look at that. Mother-daughter. Equals.
When did your visions begin?
Was it episode 1?
Before I left for Nevermore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't feel you could tell me. I know we've had our difficulties lately, but I'm always here for you, Wednesday.
That's good to know.
Always.
I appreciate that, Mother.
Sometimes when I touch someone or something, I get these very violent glimpses from the past or future. I don't know how to control it.
I'll teach you.
Our psychic ability resides on the spectrum of who we are. Given my disposition, my visions tend to be positive. That makes me a dove.
And for someone like me, who sees the world through a darker lens,
you're a raven.
Ah, I was about to say a crow or something.
But without the proper training, they can lead to madness. If I could help you, I would, Wednesday.
But
somebody from our bloodline reaches out from beyond to help us when we're ready.
Really?
Be careful, Wednesday. Goody was a witch of great strength, but her vengeance pushed her too far.
Goody was the one in all white, right? She escaped the barn that was being burned down.
I don't hold grudges.
So, your daughter and my son have become close.
I pity any boy who gets caught in her viper's gaze.
This feels rushed, but I'm willing to walk past it if we're going to be on the same page.
Dad! I missed you so much. Dad, I missed you so much.
So, it's decided 6 weeks at Camp Howell. You'll need to pick
Hey,
which activity.
fuck you, Mom.
because I'm not going.
And yeah, it's good.
If I'm meant to wolf out, then I'm going to do
What
it
does
on
Dad
my
have
own
to say about
timeline
this?
and not yours.
He's not really talking.
I just hope that one day you'll finally be able to accept me for who I am.
Oh, I kind of figured Dad was the more compassionate one because he's
proud of you, kiddo.
Aww.
You do you.
So he's like, oh, I gotta go home to that bitch. You're lucky you're in school now, kiddo.
I'll come back and help you under one condition. Wait until the school year is over. But after this, you and Morning Song are out of my life. Forever.
Damn. I don't know what to make of this storyline. I don't know if I'm interested in it or not. It feels like it's just there.
Well, at least we can't say Parents' Weekend wasn't a nail biter.
I knew you didn't have what it takes to be a murderer.
As much as that stings, gracias, my little death trap. Mwah.
As I leafed through the pages of this yearbook, I was reminded of all the wonderful times I had here. But they were just that.
Memories. Oh.
You have your own path to blaze.
Hug? No. That was kind of cute.
I did witness Roan getting murdered that night. Not only did you impersonate Judy Garland, you became her.
What?
You're a shapeshifter. I'm curious to find out how Sheriff Galpin feels when I tell him.
You won't tell us so, Miss Adams.
But a shapeshifter that can also shift
Roan's
her
father already
clothes?
knows what happened, and he fully supports my decision not to involve the authorities.
Why would he agree to that?
Because Roan was not in his right mind. I did what I needed to do to shield the school from controversy and protect its students from harm.
Tell that to Eugene. How are you protecting him?
Wednesday just push her. Fuck. Fuck this bitch. Fire Will Rain. Who's Will Rain? Why does he need to be fired? Alright guys, so that was Wednesday, Season 1, Episode 5, titled You Reap What You Woe. I will say this, that was a really good episode. It just kind of just flew by. I do really like how these episodes just fly by. Like, they're so entertaining, but I will mention this. There was 2 points in this where I'm just kind of like, it pulled me out for a little bit, just because, I don't know if it was maybe the writing or the directing. I was just kind of like, what? So, when I kind of like the first instance where we kind of got Gomez's side of the story of what happened with him and Garrett, was it Garrett Gates or whatever? Garrett Gaines. That would make sense. He kills him by accident or whatever. Looks over, is like, fuck, what have I done type of thing. That makes sense. But when Morticia or Tish tells the story, that's when it gets kind of like muddy. And it just doesn't make as much sense. It doesn't look visually. It doesn't make sense visually. You know what I mean? She steps in, picks up the sword. Dude walks into it or whatever. Basically, she didn't have to get involved. He stumbles backwards and falls to his death. Weems screams, but even until that moment, she didn't see. No one saw. No one was even around, which is another. I'm just like, damn, no one's around to see this or stop this or anything like that. But Gomez takes the sword, steps out over onto the ledge and looks down, and that's what Weems sees? That doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't, because at that point, why would you even look? You know what happened. You know what I mean? So it feels like the writers had an idea. It's like that's what they wanted to happen. But then they're like, nah, well, let's have it a kind of like an accident. Write it so Tish has a version of her telling the story. And that's what really happened. But it just doesn't make sense because the original script says this is what really happened. But then they changed it midway through. That's what it feels like. Because otherwise it just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? So, but skipping that, we go to towards the end somewhat where Gomez and Sheriff like shake hands and everything's all good and everything's great now. That felt a little bit too rushed too. It almost feels like they needed to rush certain storylines because when Wednesday figures out Weems and the mayor are the ones really covering shit up, they needed to wrap up certain storylines so Weems and the mayor, could be the villains, the true villains for the next couple of episodes. That's what it felt like. It's like, oh shit. Episode 5 needed to do a lot, and they had to rewrite a bunch of things or whatever. That's just what it feels like. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just me. It just feels like there's something inorganic happening. Like you could almost see the duct tape over that portion of the or the whiteout or whatever, however you want to like take that. It's a strikeout with the pen and you write over it. You know, any sort of correction. That's what it feels like. It feels like they went over this and they're like, no, that doesn't work. And we're like, well, fuck, we're already started filming. We gotta do something. But outside of that, outside of the main story, I like the stuff with Enid and her standing up to her wicked mom. Dad could definitely use a voice for sure. I think I know the actor, but you know, he was cool that he's kind of like there to support, and it's like basically saying you do you, and you know, which was cool. I kind of wish we got a little bit more of Enid now. I feel like she's her overexcited, bubbly nature and attitude could definitely be used a little bit more to counter the edge and the gloom and doom of Wednesday. And I think that's probably just because the actress that plays Enid is really, really good. And she's just fun to watch. The Bianca stuff is kind of okay. I don't really know what to make of it, though. She was mentioning something like, I forget what the name was. Like, oh, she's not coming. She's probably chilling in the seashells or whatever. And he's like, well, here I am. And then she's like, we have a problem. And then we kind of get a couple of scenes of them kind of having a back and forth about, you're coming with me. No, I'm not. You're out of my life. Or no, I'm not. So I don't really know what to make of that storyline, to be honest. It doesn't really entice me to want to know more, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt just because they started to turn the tables with Bianca, you know, flip the script on her, kind of making her, like, what would I say, in terms of wrestling. They're attempting to turn her babyface. She's no longer a heel, you know, or a bad guy, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. She's a bad guy about to turn good. There's going to be a moment in this series where she's going to make a decision and she's going to be a good guy. She's going to turn babyface and side with us some way, somehow. Or it's just going to be some random storyline that makes no sense. But yeah, really a good episode. I kind of wish we got more of the therapy stuff. Like, it really feels like this episode really tried to do a lot. Almost like it needed to be longer, or they needed to probably trim the fat of certain areas. But a lot of this was really good. This is probably one of the better episodes. So it's just there's two moments that just kind of just took me out of it. But not everything can be perfect, of course. But really enjoyable stuff. I also really enjoyed the actors that played young Tish and Gomi. They were really cool too. They really, really nailed that role. But yeah, now we're switching gears and we got Weems to worry about and the mayor and see what happens going forward. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it there. All right, guys. If you guys enjoyed my review, enjoyed my reaction, you guys want to see this episode with me in its entirety, the ad options available to you right now over on Patreon. Links in the description down below or pinned in the top comment. You can't support me on Patreon. You can always support me right here on YouTube. All you gotta do is like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Now I'm gonna get out of here and I'll catch you guys next time in the next episode of Wednesday, Season 1, Episode 6. Until then, adios, guys.
And if you liked what you saw, tell your friends, tell your family, tweet about it. And if you didn't like it, shut the fuck up.